What it's like to be married. I'm doing this video for our younger MGTOWs who are perhaps on the fence about their MGTOW life and see the grass of a married life as greener than a MGTOW lawn. I was married for 6 years and I was with her for a total of 10 years, so this is my perspective looking back. Perhaps the number one reason young men are so willing to get married is because of the sex. And yes, the sex is good. It's very good. But as time goes on in your marriage, sex becomes less and less important and less enjoyable. Think of it this way. Conjure in your mind a dish of your favorite food, perhaps prime steak comes to mind. And imagine the juiciest steak you have ever had in your life. Now, what if you had to eat that steak every day, day after day, week after week, month after month, for the rest of your life? Doesn't sound so good, does it? At some point, steak will not be your favorite food anymore. I assure you of that. It's human nature, in my opinion. My point here is that your tastes will change. Right now, she may seem like the sexiest, most beautiful, and compassionate human being you have ever met. But this is not a permanent feeling. In 10 years' time, in 20 years' time, she will not look like the cute little 20-something you married. She will be a little fatter, maybe a lot fatter. She'll look older. And though you will still love her, her physical appeal will decline. And you will end up with her looking more and more like her mother. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad to grow old, but what I am saying is that the person you married is not going to be the person you spend the rest of your life with. Your life is not your own as a married person. Everything you do and everything you plan will revolve around her. There will be no more guys' nights out without upsetting her. There will be no more leisure days where you can plop yourself in front of a video game and lose yourself in an epic digital battle. I mean, you can do these things, but it will be at the expense of her happiness. She won't like it. And she will put pressure on you subtly or overtly to let you know that she doesn't like it. She will change in the event of a divorce. And I know most people, most men don't think they're going to get divorced. Nobody does. But the truth is, half of you will. And divorce will show you who she really is. Ask any divorced man about the woman who had no conscience, had no ethics, spent every second of her energy trying to screw him over. Ask these men. This woman who's doing these things is the same sexy, beautiful, and most compassionate woman he had ever met, just like the girl you have. If you haven't experienced it, and I hope you never do, when a woman has made up her mind to divorce you, she will show herself to be the most vile human being, the worst of humanity that you have ever seen in your life. The bounds of a woman on the rampage is without limit. She will destroy you in a divorce. And there is no reasoning with her. Now, my question to you is this. Is that woman really the most sexy, beautiful, and compassionate woman you have ever met? Or is she the most vile? Which is the real her? I contend that you only truly know a person when they are under tremendous stress. How they behave during those events in their life tell you who they really are. Everything else is just a facade. Women are masters of this facade, but they do slip up during the courtship process. They do show their true colors. The problem is, for a man in love, you can't see any of it. Or if you do see it, you minimize it or explain it away. The truth is, the woman who is throwing tantrums now, even slight ones, while you're in the process of dating and marrying, she has limits on her behavior that prevent her from getting out of control. Imagine a woman who wishes to divorce you and has no limits on those selfish attitudes and unreasonable expectations. I assure you, it's hell on earth dealing with a woman who said she loved you and has decided she no longer does. And finally, don't make the mistake of assuming that you are better than other men. This is one of the biggest mistakes young men make. Young men by nature think that they are smarter, better, more disciplined, better directed than other men. Surprisingly, young men think they are better than men who have 10 and 20 years experience on them. And the truth is, you're not better. You're the same. Or because of your lack of experience, you're probably a little inferior to men who do have that experience. And I'm not putting down anyone here. It's just a fact. If you're 25 years old now, it's not a stretch to say that the wisdom a 40-year-old man has on you is fairly close to the same wisdom that you have on a 10-year-old. Now, you will be likely tempted to say, well, that 40-year-old man, he messed up, or I'm going to do things differently. These are all deflections. Men have traveled that road that I advise you to avoid, and they have done it with all the same good intentions that you have now. They have tried to succeed, and for half of them at least, it has been an utter disaster. You only have yourself to blame if you don't listen to wisdom here. Now, we'll be here to pick up the pieces should you decide to marry and it fails, but we would prefer that you don't live a life that risks you being emotionally shattered and destroyed before you get it. Thanks for listening.